So I have a question. What does putting brown and black stripes on a rainbow-colored flag supposed to do? Like, I was watching, This Week in Stupid from Sergey Novikov, and he's talking about these motherfuckers in Philadelphia. They decided that they were going to add brown and black to the flag. Probably no white. Wonder why. Is that maybe because they want to be inclusive, but only if, you're not white? These people are fucking crazy. I just don't understand what they think the flag's gonna do. Like, we're oppressed! Give us colors! Okay, you guys can have your colors, but what the fuck does this have to do with you being oppressed? I just don't understand. It's a fucking flag. It's like, god damn it, the American flag's good enough for me. I don't know the rest of y'all. Maybe it's because it has white in it, and I'm a white supremacist because I'm white. I don't know how that works, because I don't actually think I'm better than any other race, and yet, supposedly, I'm a alt-right white supremacist because I'm anti-social justice. So, I don't know. I'm also a patriot, so, that makes me a horrible person, too, for some reason. What is with these people and hating the United States? Like, they fucking hate the United States. They don't have no idea that we literally live in the best country on the planet. And I say this without any ounce of sarcasm at all. We have the most amount of freedoms so far. I don't know where else you'd go that has more freedom. I have no idea. If there's another spot that's better than the US, it's a fucking unicorn. I have no idea. But even that could get blown to hell by the United States dropping a nuke. You know what I mean? If there was another spot on Earth that, was fucking amazing, people had all the rights in the world and stuff, we have a shit ton of rights here that are, guaranteed via our Constitution, such as the freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, so right to bear arms. You've got lots of things, you don't have to quarter military troops in your home. Why is that? Because of the U.S. Constitution. And that was actually a thing that was evolved around the Revolutionary War, if I remember correctly. And the reason why is because the British came over, to fight the revolutionaries, the Revolutionary Army and whatnot. And the problem was that they didn't have a place to stay. So they would quarter the troops in people's homes, because the United States at the time wasn't a United States. It was just a British colony at the time. Well, British colonies. And eventually, we said fuck you, and we were like, we're going to create a better model, and we did. We really did. Unfortunately, things have gotten fucked up in some ways. Here's the thing. I don't think people do it intentionally to be, corrupt and evil and shit. But my god. Some of the shit that former presidents did, enacting welfare. Oh, and some of the motherfuckers from recent history. I mean, I think all the ones from recent history have been corrupt as hell, Bill Clinton. Yeah, corrupt as hell. He repealed the Glass-Steagall Act. If you don't know what that is, that's why we had the housing bubble that crashed. That is why. It is Bill Clinton's fault that the 2008 crash happened. It's not George Bush's fault. It's not Barack Obama's fault. It is Bill Clinton's fault. That is 100%. If he had not repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, odds are we wouldn't have had that housing market bubble crash that, kind of fucked our economy for the past fucking 10 years. So, what I'm trying to say, I think, with this video is you're claiming you're oppressed. You live in the best country on the planet. If you factor out our economic power, our rights that our Constitution guarantees, and our military prowess compared to other countries, we're fucking killing it, man. You live on the best fucking planet in the world. And you're sitting there and you're claiming you're oppressed when literally in India they're swimming in rivers of shit. Oh, yeah, you're real oppressed. You can walk down to the Willamette, smell the air, and it smells fresh. You try to do that in New Delhi, all you smell is shit. The entire city is just full of shit. All over the streets. I've seen pictures. It's disgusting. You can look them up yourself. I'm not going to do it again. No. Oh, and then my ex-boyfriend, asshole, whatever. Asshole ex-boyfriend. He wanted to fucking show me fucking live video, or I don't know what the hell it is. It's called Live Leaks. And he wanted to fucking show me some people duking it out with a fucking machete. I was like, why the fuck would you want to show me that? I'm super sensitive. Like, no, don't. I don't want to see violence. That's not something I want to see. Very much upsets me. Even from when I was a small child. Upsets me quite a bit. I'm very sensitive to that type of thing. You're not oppressed. I don't care what color you are. If you're living in the United States right now and you're a U.S. citizen, you are not oppressed. You are the opposite of oppressed. You are privileged. You live in the most privileged country in the fucking planet. Okay? You cannot say that you are not privileged. You are not oppressed. You are privileged. You're privileged to live here. I'm using your language, fuckers. You being a gay, black, LGBTQ, trans, whatever, doesn't mean shit. It really just, it doesn't. You're just fighting because you have nothing real in your lives that's a real struggle, right? You don't have anything in your lives where it's like, it's life or death. You don't have to go down to the river and go bathe in shit water. I'm just saying, you have it fucking great here. You don't have, I'm sorry, you don't live in the real world. I don't consider the United States the real world. The only people in the United States who live in the real world are the ones who are really, really extremely poor and don't have government assistance. So, what? White men. Older white men. Okay, there you go. And I know that's a little bit of an exaggeration because I do see homeless women on the street too. But women are far more likely to be able to get government assistance than men are. So you are going to more likely than not see them on the street. And I think it's a real shitty thing that we don't have enough shelters for men, and yet there's tons and tons of shelters for women all over the goddamn place. My point is, you motherfuckers are not oppressed. And I'm getting sick of hearing this. I'm getting sick of you guys just coming out and being like, okay, you guys have to do what we say because we're oppressed. Look at the flag. We added more colors to it. You guys sound like retards. It's like, okay, you're worried about colors on a flag. Really? People in China are swimming in shit. There's dead bodies that float down the river. Yeah, you're worried about a flag. Okay, great. That's wonderful. That's great. It shows you have nothing real in your life to worry about. There's nothing in your life to worry about, so you worry about colors. Do you know how fucking retarded that sounds? You don't have to deal with the emphysema that Chinese people get because their air is so polluted. Do you understand that we live in one of the most eco-friendly nations on the planet? I mean, we have the EPA. China doesn't have the fucking EPA controlling what they do and stuff. Our rivers used to be fucking polluted. But you know what? We looked at the rivers. We said, do we want to leave this? as a monument to our children, do we want to leave polluted rivers to them? No. You know what happened? We decided that no, we didn't want our rivers to be polluted. We decided that we didn't want all our forests to be cut down and just completely gone. You know what we did? We created nature reserves. We created forest reserves all over the country to preserve some of the wildlife and some of the nature in our country. Then we introduced quality standards to the crap that you could put in the river and stuff. And into the air. Our air is clean because we have quality standards. Our rivers are clean because we have quality standards. And for those of you who think it's Barack Obama's doing, no. We had clean water and clean air well before Barack Obama came around. Do you understand that? We were already making strides in the environmentalist field. But no, you guys are oppressed because flags and colors and I'm gay. You know, it's obviously, you know, so much worse than having your hand cut off in Saudi Arabia because you were starving and stole, I don't know, a tomato from the grocery store or something. I'm giving you a ridiculous example because I don't know what they sell in fucking Saudi Arabia. I have no understanding of their culture over there other than I know that I understand their religion a lot more than I understand the culture. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but the religion buys into the culture. But here's the thing, not everybody buys into that. So it's hard to say what the actual culture in Saudi Arabia is versus what is imposed upon them by their government. I'm just saying, you go to Saudi Arabia, you try to steal something, they will cut off your hand. Or kill you, whatever. But no, you guys are impressed. You guys are so oppressed. You need to show how oppressed you are constantly. Aren't I oppressed? Look, I'm gay and black. That means I'm more oppressed, right? But the person next to you is gay, black, and disabled. But the person next to him is gay, black, disabled, and trans. This is why I said I wanted to be Queen Latifah, because if we're gonna choose, you know, our different names and stuff, I'd like it to be empowering. I mean, if you're gonna go with an identity, like I don't know why you would go with my identity is me being gay and black and I'm oppressed. See, I would rather go with my persona being like Queen Latifah. See, I'm so white. It looks terrible, but in my head, I'm watching Queen Latifah, like, lay into somebody, you know, bitch them out, whatever. That's why I want to be Queen Latifah. I mean, these people, they don't understand what goes on in the rest of the world at all. They don't understand. They hear about the one or two stories of a gang rape or something out of college, which is fucking terrible, but at the same time, it's like, okay, the one girl out of a million that got gang raped and it got recorded and then the guys ended up on trial and it was a huge thing. That happens once in a while. The rape on campus is not a fucking giant thing. Most men know, oh yeah, I can't rape, otherwise I'll go to prison. And, motherfuckers, girls, if you are legitimately raped, go get yourself checked out at a hospital immediately. Don't go take a shower. Don't feel like shit. The soonest point you can actually get to the fucking hospital, go to the hospital. That's the only chance you have of getting your rapist. Now, I'm not saying, like, do this to an innocent guy, because that's really, really fucking shitty. But my point is, you don't have to deal with rape on a daily basis like the women in Muslim countries, where spousal rape is legal. And you don't live in a country where gay men are thrown off the tops of buildings for having consensual sex. But you're oppressed. Yeah, you're so fucking oppressed. Right. Because you're brown. Because you're black. You're so fucking oppressed. God. You're never gonna amount to nothing. That's all there is to it. And I'm not saying this as a racist, man. I'm saying this as a person who cares about you. See, I want to show you love. So I'm going to tell you the truth, sweetheart. The truth is, if you keep going down this path of, I'm so oppressed, I'm so oppressed, I'm so oppressed, I'm so oppressed, guess what? You will never be the victor. Never. You have to start to say to yourself, I'm a winner, I am not oppressed, I have so many good things in the world, I've got lots of good things going for me, I'm smart, I can go to school, I can get a good job, I can do this and that. You gotta start seeing yourself as a success. You gotta start seeing yourself as a victor. You cannot go into this I'm oppressed mode, because you know what? It's not going to lead you anywhere. The only place it's going to lead you is to depression. I mean, like, fuck. I don't want to fucking believe that about myself. It's one of the reasons I reject feminism, is because I don't think I'm oppressed. I think I do think I'm fucking privileged. I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled fucking brat. But I'm more privileged as a woman than a man would be. And you want to know how I know this? Because most guys, if I pissed them off, they wouldn't punch me in the face. You'd have to be a really, really shitty guy to punch a 5'2" girl in the face, regardless of what she said to you. As long as I wasn't attacking him, I would not get punched in the face 99.9% of the times. You can't call that privilege, man. Because if I was a guy... Bam! There's certain things that I could say that would get me punched in the face for 100% sure. I don't know. It's like these people never got out of fucking kindergarten or something. Like, I was having a discussion with my parents about the education system that I was in. And see, I was more advanced student, and I was in the IB program, International Baccalaureate, which... I don't know. It was good. I learned really good stuff. Like, whatever. I'm a pretty intelligent person. The thing is that the rest of the curriculum was so fucking dumbed down. No one was learning anything that I could see. You know, like these kids, they go to history class, and while I was learning about post-revisionist history and shit like that, you know, learning the difference between, I don't actually remember the terms, but it was something like revisionist or constructionist or reconstructionist or something like that. But either way, you know, I was learning about way more complex, you know, interesting things, and, you know, real history. And getting lessons like, oh yes, this is the principles that the U.S. Constitution were based on, and etc., etc., so on and so on, and then him saying repeatedly, our Constitution is based off of principles, not rules. Principles, not rules. Principles, not rules. Yes, yes. You need to live by principles. Just as the U.S. Constitution was based off of principles, you should be living by principles as well. And I think, in my opinion, anything that falls outside of those principles really isn't constitutional. But you can argue it to a lawyer regardless of whatever. They're going to go with whatever the Constitution actually says. And they'll interpret it whatever the way they fucking want to, you know. My point is, you're not oppressed. And even if you had a shitty high school, like the kids that were not in my advanced classes had, where they were simply coloring maps. Yeah, that's what they would do in their social studies classes. I went in there one time, And that's what they were doing. They were coloring maps. I was learning about more advanced sort of concepts in history. And my counterparts were coloring maps. They were coloring. They were doing elementary school level shit, people. Like, in fucking elementary school, I knew where most of the countries on the planet were, because they made us do like this map thing that they would test us every couple months or so or whatever, and you would have to come in and you would point to where the different countries were in the world, and that was a thing. And so I already knew that was a thing I learned in elementary school. That is a thing you should be learning in elementary school. You should not be learning that in high school. You should be beyond that in high school. And if you have students who really can't keep up with their curriculum, they need to be put in a separate class by themselves. You do not want to drag down the rest of the student body because you have a few idiots. And I don't mean idiots in terms of like mentally disabled people, because those people already have a separate class. I mean idiots as in people who do not have high IQs, who cannot do this type of complicated work, or sometimes it's because they're from a foreign country. They didn't grow up in our school system, so they have no understanding of it. They're basically starting from scratch or whatever. I have compassion for those people. Those people aren't mentally disabled. They don't need to be in the mentally disabled, room or whatever. But they shouldn't be in with the normal students. If your IQ is just too low to do this shit, which, by the way, I hope you guys, if you have a low IQ, the best thing to do is to go into some sort of trade job. But even those can take quite a bit of problem solving. But my point is that especially if you have students who aren't doing well, keeping them in with the rest of the student population isn't going to improve them either. It's not going to do anything for them. So you have to deal with them separately. You put them in class with the other students, you have to match the curriculum to fit them. It's stupid. And so as a result, and this is what I saw happening in my high school, we have really stupid people out there who don't know shit about history. And so they think they're oppressed because there was civil rights at some point in the past. There was slavery in the past. I don't know. I feel like they think it was like last generation or something, but it's not. Nobody alive has been a slave. Nobody has been a slave in over 150 years. I'm just saying, there's no slavery in the United States anymore that's legal. And I put that preference on that just because, there's shit that happens underground that, the cops try to keep a handle on, but can't get all of them. They just keep coming back. Anyway, so I just wish these people would start to look upon themselves better, start thinking better about themselves, stop being so hateful towards themselves. Because when I look at somebody who's like, I'm oppressed, I can't do anything because I'm oppressed, it's fucking obnoxious. It's like, okay, well, you obviously feel like shit about yourself. You obviously hate yourself. Why do you hate yourself? That's my question to all these people who think that the two little extra stripes of color matter on the flag for whatever reason. Why do you hate yourself? Ask yourself that question. Go to the mirror and be like, why do you hate me? Why? Hey, funny thing is, you'll probably answer yourself at some point. But you need to be honest. Whatever comes to your mind first, like, why do you hate me? There's going to be a thought that pops in your head. And it's going to be something you are going to want to fight. You're going to want to push it out. But guess what? It's one of your little voices, one of your little personalities that takes care of all the functioning of your body. It's one of your little personalities trying to shout out to you. Be like, this is what's wrong with you. This is why you hate yourself. And guess what? Once you do that, you can fix yourself, but you have to make the lunge into the unknown. You have to make that lunge into areas that make you uncomfortable. You have to lunge into the chaos to find the truth. And that's all there is to it. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Adding 2 more colors to the gay pride flag is not going to do anything for you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No one's gonna care. You've been whining and whining and whining for what feels like the past 5 years. And it's getting fucking ridiculous at this point. You guys really think adding more colors to a flag's gonna do shit? Raise awareness? No, you're just going after sympathy points. You're going after your oppression points. And so, I would like to say to you, out of love, out of complete love, because I do want to see the world improve. I want to see people get a grasp on their own lives. So the first thing you need to do is to ask yourself why you hate yourself. You need to go searching for the darkness within your soul, because it's there, and you have to confront it before you know why you hate yourself. And when you know why you hate yourself, you'll stop hating yourself. Because then you can fix it. And it takes work on your part. The second thing you need to tell yourself, though, once you have that conversation with yourself, you figure out why you hate yourself. Once you figure that out, you go, I'm a victor. I'm going to be successful. I am going to fix myself, and it is going to be one of the most amazing lifetimes on this planet. And you keep telling yourself that over and over and over again. Do not believe that you are oppressed, because if you are oppressed, you can go nowhere. If you are a victor, you can go anywhere. Anywhere you choose. You know, within reason of your cognitive and physical abilities. But there shouldn't be really anything besides that holding you back. In the United States, there's not. You are the only person holding yourself back. And that's the only truth. I hope everybody has a great day.